prosecution of felon gangster mafiotic negroidic, the Black Frank Gelada, a gangster judge, therefore unprosecutable, the blackish, menial, negroidic in appearance and demeanor, felon, vicious, parroting puppet, ex-district attorney Nassau County, with no private law experience, detested by all factions, in spite of this solely because of his many-year secret gangsterization and crucifixion of me, this negroidic, low, mafiotic, deadly Black Frank Gelada was then immediately and unprecedentedly and repeatedly, rapidly promoted in spite of tremendous opposition to the present position of second highest state judgeship solely through gangster computer god manipulation. As additional evidence, during the last week of my within-mentioned month-long, worse than a farce Nazi court criminal trial in Nassau County Court, 1958, where dwarfed felon gangster parroting puppet rectum lapper sodomist Judge William Sullivan's ball of fat felon slut wife, she, as planned, sat in the front row, repeatedly stripping her overclothes and completely pulling up her dress and slip and pulling aside her old-fashioned pink bloomers in order to display her anus, her conch. She repeatedly gesticulated and whispered, "I'll give it to you to suck. Finish him." Her husband's dwarfed felon gangster parroting puppet rectum lapper sodomist Judge William Sullivan, flushed-faced in repeated open sodomistic displays, stuck out his tongue, wiggling it, chuckling to her. "You hangman rope gangster felon parroting puppet scum on top playboys can watch my Frankenstein eyesight television playback of this felonious lowly sodomistic display by the felon sodomist Judge William Sullivan and his lowly felon slut wife during my trial in Nassau County Court. After my worse than Nazi court criminal conviction, crucifixion, for years in poverty I suffered hopeless, jobless, character assassination, and isolation in this low, deadly nigger town. I was the repeat target victim of this gangster government's gangsterization and undetectable extermination attempts to shut me up forever with my secrets. Then, in December 14th to 17th, 1965, I attempted to escape this worst mongrel gangster communist country to return to the Slovenic Polish land of my forefathers. Instead, in a gangster-staged parroting puppet deadly conspiracy, I was flown from Kennedy, New York Airport at night to a small distant St. Lawrence River estuary, snowbound small airport under the guise that I was in Warsaw, Poland. Immediately, many, many things proved this to me, including the two big white asbestos shingled hangars with the large Braniff Airways signs on their sidewalls, in addition to the many blurted statements I solicited from the many CIA deadly gangsters, the assassins of me, the many, many parroting puppets all around me. I demanded an immediate flight back to Kennedy, New York Airport. Instead, I was held captive all night later in chains. I refused both all food and requests I go to sleep. Then CIA police gangsters pretending to be Polish police with no identification beat me bloodily. Later, while my return trip 707 Boeing jet airliner was being serviced for my return trip, I quickly walked into the airplane and saw a CIA gangster with a small electric hairdryer type blower pumping deadly poison nerve gas smoke into secret compartments under the ashtrays in the arms of the chairs, where later I was ordered to sit in the airplane full of CIA underlings, passengers, my assassins, who giggled as they watched me dragged in chains by the airplane by the gangster CIA police gangsters. These deadly gangster CIA passengers, they pressed the frontal panel of the ashtrays in the seat arms to release the deadly poison nerve gas smoke. Indubitably, all of the others deadly CIA underling gangsters aboard this staged return flight, they all had taken the top secret poison nerve gas antidote pill, immuning them from the deadly poison nerve gas smoke. Deadly poison nerve gas smoke was sprayed at me from cigars, cigarettes, and even from ballpoint pens, also from the wig of a woman sitting next to me. Even the Swiss cheese type ice cubes were evaporating into poison nerve gas smoke in all of the free drinks. I got up and went to the rear of the airplane by the rear exit door with a large push-up handle. My Frankenstein brain thoughts broadcasting radio disclosed my intentions. Immediately, the loudspeakers screamed that the flight was over and that our airplane was already preparing to land at Kennedy, New York Airport. You hangman rope sneak gangster playboy scum on top know these facts are true, not only from taking part in such undetectable exterminations, but also you chicanerous, demented, felon, parroting puppet gangsters can watch my Frankenstein eyesight television playback of all these horrible, terrifying, deadly events. When I returned home, Joseph...
Okay, enough of that song. And yes, that blue screen is supposed to be there. All right, we're going to do something a little different tonight. First of all, got my awful Maxwell House coffee. I'm gonna have to get different coffee. I didn't think it was bothering me. It's kind of bothering me. I don't know what it is. There's just something that's, I don't know. It's not. It's just not good. It's not good. Yeah, I mean, like the store, and look, the store that I'm talking about, I'm surprised they have a brand. Okay, and okay, whatever. It's good. It's making me feel warm and toasty. I'm gonna stop bitching about it. All right. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Devin Stack here for your Insomnia stream. Now, both those songs that I played were from 1993 for a reason. And that reason will become apparent shortly. 1993. Almost 30 years ago. I was cleaning out Carl's house today. And actually, before we get into that, one thing I found because I was looking, basically I just wanted to look at, okay, I'm going to play some songs from 1993, preferably annoying songs and songs done by white people, so I don't have to listen to some spurgs. And the funny thing is, well, first of all, like the top 15 songs in 1993, like all 15 of them were black artists, all 15. So I had to go down, substantially down the list to find, and then Snow, come on, I had to play it. But one thing I found while looking for the Snow video, the Informa, that thing, was apparently there was, I don't know if you guys remember this, what was it called? It was before Mad TV. There was the show that Jim Carrey was on. And Homie the Clown, all that. Now it's gonna eat me up. Living Color, that's what it was. Living Color, which was like the chintzy Fox black version of Saturday Night Live, except for it wasn't live. They had like I think 1993 was just very pro black or something. Like that was the thing. That was the cool thing in 1993. Apparently, I mean, fuck Snow. I mean, he was trying to be black for his song, right? And they did a parody, and we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I downloaded it so we could take a look here. And the thing that struck me about this, and we're going to see some more of this stuff in 1993, is how much in 30 years things really haven't changed. Like this complaint that like, oh, we're marginalized. We're so marginalized. That's bullshit. It's been cool to be black for at least 30 years. At least 30 years. Really, for longer. Like the propaganda coming from the mainstream has been insanely pro-black for over 30 years. And in fact, Snow makes, he makes his little song Informer trying to be black because he's trying to cash in on this idea that like, well, apparently if you want to get a song, you have to act like you're black. And in fact, what was the Blame It on the Rain song? That was sung by white people, and they used black people in the video because they thought it would sell better. Let's show these Rasta guys in the music video, and even though it's sung by white guys. And so that this idea that, oh, blacks are marginalized and this kind of garbage, it's just not true. Now, to underscore this, so in Living Color did a parody of that song, and it was, I guess maybe I should hide this. And I'll just put the video player on top. Do that. There we go. When they make fun of Snow in this video, they're basically making fun of him for being white. And they're showing him that he's inferior to the black people, and that he's just some stupid white kid that should be working at a Burger King. Beat him up. This was 30 years ago. That's where the culture was 30 fucking years ago. 30 years ago. Oh, here, we'll take a look here.
To them, and man, they gon' kick your white ass. Right, they say you took something that belonged to them, and man, they gon' kick your white ass.
They're gonna kick your white ass. 1993, it was totally okay to say, we're going to kick your white ass on primetime television. So this idea that blacks have been marginalized, look, white primacy was on the way out the door in 1993. In fact, it was, see, here's the dynamic that changed. The dynamic that changed. And I think the reason why white people tolerated stuff like this in 1993 was they didn't feel threatened. There was like this smugness about it, you know, like, we'll let the black people have their little thing and whatever. They can, all those black comedians and Def Comedy Jam in the same time period, right? Like, white people are so funny, they walk funny. I remember I watched this one black comic. I don't even remember. He was like a midget basically, and a pimp. I don't remember his name. But he did this whole set, and it was all like how retarded white people were. But everything that he made fun of white people for was like a positive. So, for example, one of the things he spurred out about was if you call a wrong number and it's a black person, they get really fucking pissed off and hang up on you. But if you call up a wrong number and it's a white person, they're like, oh, hello. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Janie doesn't live here, but I can help you find her number. And like how they're super polite and helpful. And like the joke was like, oh, those stupid fucking white people. And I remember just thinking like, what, are you even listening to what you're saying? Like, what the fuck? But no, 1993, it was already on the way out. So anyway, we're going to kick your white ass.
Imposter, I'm just a middle-class worker from Toronto.
So first of all, I don't know if you caught that. So Jim Carrey's character playing Snow, he was so terrified of the black guys that he was hiding. He was hiding in the ghetto.
In spite of how I sound, single one platinum bigger than Marley and Jimmy and Yellowman, but I'm not even mulatto. My reggae's watered down. Hear me on the radio, think I could not be blacker, but on my video you see I'm really a cracker, pretending I was a Rasta since I
He's really a cracker.
was in jammies. I should pay my face and start betting out Mary. You can criticize
A joke about blackface. So, again, 30 years ago.
me all the way to the bank. My single number one and Shabba don't rank. Time Warner kick Dicey off the label, puts it in the cops. They said it just ain't right. But when a Caucasian man records a cupping song, they
See, and that, I don't know if you caught that. It's hard to catch these lyrics. He's so fast. He said that Time Warner deplatformed a rapper because he got arrested. That's something that would never happen now. But in 1993, there was still enough, white boomers buying records for their children, I guess, that cared about that sort of a thing. And he's like, oh, Time Warner, they fired this rapper for getting arrested for, I don't know the story behind that, but it doesn't matter. But you don't care about this guy acting black. How is that the same?
don't have a problem. Must be an oversight. All the Jamaicans think I gave them a bum scare, but everything I know I learned from an auctioneer. The bidding will start at 7 for this here go gang. 8 do I hear 8, 9 who'll give me 10? I got 10 going once, going twice sold. I can spout gibberish and it'll go gold. I am what I am and that's all that I am. A skitty button bit up the bow. Day-o, day-o, bizade, 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 bizade.
I rap in your songs with the best of my ability. You need a black man to increase your credibility.
Look, and he's not wrong. They did need a black guy in that song to increase the credibility. 30 years ago, but blacks are marginalized, right? But they needed a black rapper in that song for it to sell. Blacks, everyone hates them for no reason. But in order to sell a song that's in a style that they popularized, I guess, you need to have a black guy in it.
When put on the spot, I side with the rosters, cause Sean ain't down with no imposter.
Imposter, like Vanilla Ice, the people are sick of me. They put my boom boom down in 4 months. My butt'll be back in Canada working a day job with a burger crown. Would you like fries with that? A hot apple pie with that?
Just drive around, ma. Blue top. Cool running.
Here comes the black people to be afraid of. And it's funny.
With glasses, would you,
black
man?
on white violence. It's so hilarious. You can hear the crowd laughing. Oh, they're cheering. Oh, they're cheering. They're cheering. They'd love to see the blacks beat down on the white guy. Now, look, you might think I'm overanalyzing or whatever, but it's in the context of today, it's kind of hard to look at this and not be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? This was 30 fucking years ago. 30 fucking years ago. And because, by and large, whites were just kind of like, oh, that's, let them have their fun. It's not a threat. 30 years later, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. They weren't kidding. They weren't kidding. All right, so anyway, back to why there's a blue screen on the screen. So I was clearing out Carl's house today. And like I've told you, there's a bunch of porn in there. But there's also just like random, like tons of just VHS tapes and tapes and CDs. And just like this guy just collected just media, I guess. Books and like weird books. There's not even like a theme to it. Just, I don't know where, like everything from like Martha Stewart type books to like photography books, lots of porn books. And like every kind of book. Well, I told you about that book from the 1700s that was in his house. He had a book from the fucking 1700s. That when I later looked up, it was the book that had the dollar sign in print for the first time. It's right here in my drawer. It's worth not as much as you would think. I thought it would. I was like, oh, that's got to be worth something. It's not. So that's why it's in my drawer, not on eBay. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm out of morbid curiosity. I kind of want to just see what's on some of these tapes. I'm sure some of them will be porn, but they can't all be porn. And so I just, grabbed a handful of them and popped them in. And just, and sure enough, like a lot of it was like TV that had been recorded and stuff like that. A lot of TV movies with the commercials. And one tape in particular from 1993, and I haven't even watched it all. I just saw that it was from 1993, watched a couple of them, was like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of these commercials from 1993 on an actual tape that's in a VCR right now. In fact, I should probably rewind the tape. Or did I already? Maybe I did already. Okay, I think I did. But before we do that, so I guess I have to eject it. That's right. See? I'm not fucking around. It's a real tape. One of the tapes was porn. And this is kind of hilarious. This is we're going to play some of it. Not any no boobies or anything like that. But I couldn't fucking believe it. I put in this tape and immediately I'm like, okay, this is probably porn because it's like a girl on, I was like, it's either a home movie or it's porn or maybe it's both because of the way it's shot. And it's like this woman on a bed and I was like, okay. Well, but no one's naked. There's no penises yet. So I'm like listening. And what I heard was like simultaneously hilarious and really not funny. But we are going to watch it. So this is this tape. I hope I queued it up right, or there will be boobies and dicks on the screen. Okay. Let's have a little look-see. Oh, and by the way, you can thank me later for fixing up the audio. The audio on these VHS tapes is terrible. So it's still gonna be probably kind of bad, but I did the best I could. So here we go. Listen carefully.
For me these days to find a new debutante. What is your name?
Mine, Tanas.
Tanas?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I could relate to that. I've often said, what Tanas I am. What Tanas I am.
Oh, I
what
get
an
it.
ass I am. Tanas. Tanas, is that your name?
Tanaz.
Tanaz.
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
I don't know.
That's your name.
Hmm?
What nationality are you?
Me? I'm Jewish.
Hey, hello, how are you? So am I. You call...
Oh my God! Oh my God! Look at that! Totally fucking random! And it's not even, this isn't even the beginning of the tape. It was just like in the middle of the tape. Middle of the fucking tape. And I just popped it in, and I swear to God, it was exactly where we're at right here. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. But anyway, the story gets disturbing from there. I'm going to just let it play, just so you can hear it. And then we'll get to the other one. But it was just like, what the fuck?
I mean, is Polish, Russian, German?
Irish.
Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Irish and Jewish. You're really ishy, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ish. Hey, what are you doing? Did you know that I was Jewish?
No. Now I do.
Hey.
Yeah. And now we do too. I think we all know that. Yeah. Usually it's not Jew on Jew though. I guess this is a new development or an old development. Maybe it was always Jew on Jew. But imagine that two Jews making porn in the 90s. Okay. At least I'm assuming this is the 90s.
How old are you?
18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
When was your birthday?
March 23rd.
Yeah? What year?
77.
77.
Yep. So that would be, let's see here. That would be somewhere around 97-ish or so. So we're in the same time period of the 93 stuff.
1977. Do you feel 18? Do you feel older?
I feel older.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because of all the shit I've gone through.
Really? You've gone through that much?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Has it all been bad or?
No. It's not bad. It's just been crazy.
Yeah? Why did you decide to do this?
Why? I don't know, because... I don't know why. I just did. Something I wanted to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like adult videos?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Are you sexual? Are you very sexual?
Yeah.
You think that has a lot to do with it?
Yeah, probably. Such a geek.
How tall are you?
5'2.5".
What are your measurements?
This is
My
someone's
measurement's
Jewish
like what?
mother right now, by the way.
Top?
She's got to be like 40,
38C.
like
38?
or something like that.
Really? I've never seen your breasts.
Or she's dead in a ditch somewhere.
I think I'm about to, though.
Unmarked grave.
Is this the first time you're doing this?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I ain't never done anything like this before.
I see. Where are you from? You have an accent.
Well, I lived out in the country for like 5
Oh,
and a half
imagine
years.
that. Some
And I guess the
country girl.
people I hung out with all had accents, and it just tends to wear off on you after
Tricked into
living there for
porn.
so long.
What country?
What country? I lived in Sydney, Ohio.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Out with the farmers.
So tell me, does any of your family know that you're doing this?
Everyone in my family knows I'm doing it, except for my
This is
brothers.
where
I
it's
don't think they
weird.
know, but it don't matter.
You mean your parents know?
Both of them, yeah, my mom and my dad.
What do they think about it?
My mom doesn't like the simple fact that, I mean, she doesn't care that I'm doing it, but she doesn't want me to do movies. But she said that she can't stop me if I do. And my dad, he's just so excited. He just can't wait to get a tape.
Her Jewish dad is so excited. He can't wait to get the tape. And her mom doesn't care that she's doing it, really. Judeo-Christian values, ladies and gentlemen. Judeo-Christian values. Her dad is excited to get the tape. Now, I want you to look, if I was making porn and I was doing this little intro or whatever to try to, I don't know, get the viewer to be interested in this girl a little bit, as, you know, so have some kind of like emotional connection to augment the sexual energy or whatever, right? These little intros they do. Even in this scenario, this fictional scenario where Devin is making porn, if she had told me that her dad was excited and waiting to get the tape, I would have just been like, what? I might have had to stop recording, and because I'd feel so gross. I'd be like, you've obviously been abused, and this is not good. This is fucked up. But no, listen to how the Jewish pornographer reacts.
Really?
Yeah, he's just a big old pervert. He just wants to see the tape.
Well, if he watches that genre, I mean, in his eyes, in his opinion, you're a star.
You're a star. It's a good thing. Nothing weird about your dad wanting to see the tape. I'm going to send him a fucking copy. Nothing weird about that. Anyway, it gets grosser from there. So I couldn't believe that. Like I popped the tape in and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, out of every place on this tape, it's like a long tape, I'm assuming. Like, it's a full tape. It's a full size tape. And so, like, out of anywhere that because, like I said, it wasn't even at the beginning. It was just like in the middle. For it to be right there, I was just like, Jesus, are you kidding me? Oh my God. Anyway. Yeah. So that happened. Thanks, Carl. Let's eject that tape out. Oh, technology. High-tech stuff. Yeah, this is like a big-ass tape. Like, I don't know if it says, like, how long. Yeah, because it's not like, yeah, this is, I think, the quality it was playing, this is, like, fucking 6 hours long. It's about, actually, it's more towards, if it winds the way I think, it's more towards the end. So, anyway, that's fucking crazy. All right. So, this other tape is different. This tape is a recording of 2 shows. We're not probably going to go through both of them because we're going to have to do a lot of fast forwarding. And maybe that won't take as long as I'm thinking. But there's 2 made-for-TV movies or actually 3 made-for-TV movies on it. Well, I guess the cool thing is it'll fast forward really fast then, because it's on like the way that. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little geek information about VHS. So VHS tapes, you had different speeds because the magnetic tape that would run across the magnetic head, there was writing the analog video signal to it. The faster the tape would go across that head, the more tape per second, I guess, meant the higher quality that video signal would be, right? Because there's more tape to write it on. And then the same exact tape could also be, it could go from being an hour long for like the highest quality to something like 6 hours long if it just rolled that magnetic tape really slowly across the head. Because it took so long, there's not as much tape is traveling across the head, and so it has way less tape per second, I guess is a way to put it, to write the information. So the quality's worse. Anyway, the reason why that's relevant is when I fast forward, because it was written at a speed that was just crawling across the head. It'll haul ass, I think, when I fast forward. At least that's the hope. We'll see. Anyway, let's pop this fucker in. So the first made-for-TV movie that's in here is Call of the Wild. And again, we're not going to watch it. We're just going to watch the commercials. It's kind of funny because it's like, this might be one of the first times in history that with a VHS tape, someone has fast-forwarded the show to watch the commercials. So let's have a look here. And again, I haven't seen all this. I just saw that it was 93 and watched like the first commercial break. Because I didn't realize that they would have... That's what I was searching for. I was like, well, did they let the commercials roll? And they did. So I guess you'd have to do that back then. Unless you were like Captain Pause Button. So here we go. Rewound. All right. Okay.
The taste of time.
Building a successful company team, 6 a.m. Monday.
Oh,
I'm Kim Benson up
all right,
at the Violent Weekend March.
Audio is way lagged on this. Way lagged on this. I wonder if it's because of the effects I put on it. But I almost kind of have to. Let me see if I can get that audio to not be so behind on there. Because that's going to be annoying. We kind of need that, though. All right, let's see if that helps it.
And horses falling on spectators during the last two parades.
Yeah, but see, that audio is so horrific.
Tonight on the city's west side, the victim had been shot to death. An elderly, longtime San Antonio couple is found dead.
Well, this might not work out, guys. Let me see.
I'm Kim Benson up at 10, a violent weekend.
See, that high-pitched sound, that will go away once the OBS built-in audio cleaner-upper thing catches it and figures it out. But the VST effects that I put on it to make it sound less shitty, I think, are the ones lagging it out. So let me screw around with the audio just for a moment here. Let's remove that and remove this. And I'm going to turn off the compressor. So now it's just the noise suppression. And we're going to see... And I'll deactivate it and activate it. All right, let's see what happens here.
Fiesta and horses falling on spectators during the last two parades kills one and injures two. A body is found tonight on the city's west side. The victim had been shot to death. An elderly, longtime San Antonio couple is found dead in the north side home. A northwest.
How do you guys feel about this? I'm gonna have to turn the audio up at least.
You know, I run into people all.
Oh, Men's Warehouse. All right, so let me do this. Let me make the. We might be able to live with this. We might be able to live with this if I turn the audio up. Let's see. Crank it up about that much. It's gonna have that annoying buzz. Fair warning for a second.
Ever shopped at a Men's Warehouse store, and I say the same thing to everybody. Give us 1 minute.
Go away.
Just come into our store for
all right,
60 seconds.
I think we can live with that.
Let
me turn up a little more. I think we can get behind that. All right. Okay. The only reason I'm rewinding it is I want you to hear what that news report's about. If I remember correctly, if I heard it right the first time, it's it's very 1993.
The taste of time.
Building a successful company team, 6 a.m. Monday. Good evening, I'm Kim Benson. Up at 10, a violent weekend marks the end of Fiesta, and horses falling on spectators during the last two parades kills one and injures two. A body is found tonight on the city's west side, a victim, the victim.
Well, that's like super lag. They got worse somehow. Yeah, screw it. You know what? That's okay, because it's not like we're watching, whatever, who cares? So let me do this. I'm going to turn that effect back on that I was using before that makes it sound better. I'm going to turn this back down a little bit. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's see.
An elderly, longtime San Antonio couple is found dead in a North Side home. A Northwest Side fire leaves 5 families homeless. More on that now this.
You know, I run into people all the time that have never shopped at a men's warehouse store, and I say the same thing to everybody. Give us 1 minute. Just come into our store for 60 seconds, and you'll become a men's warehouse customer. I guarantee it.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what's... All right, sorry. Let's try. I'm going to do one more thing, and if it's not, it doesn't fix it, then whatever. It's not a big deal. I think I know what it is, though. I think it's the... might be the frames per second here. Buffering. Oh, it's disabled buffering. See if that does anything. And let's change. Let's change frames per second. Oh, I didn't like that. Let's do this. All right, this might work. Let's see what happens.
Medical examiners identify a victim at the cult compound near Waco. A lot more tonight at 10.
Oh, see? There you go. That's what I was going for. Waco. So this is back when Waco was happening. And they'd identified another body at Waco. More at 10. Anyway, I just thought that was a nice little thing, but whatever. I think we may have fixed it. We'll find out.
John Thornton wanted the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm going to the
adventure of a
He went
lifetime.
searching for glory and gold, but what he found was incredible danger.
You gotta be a mite quicker with your fists and your money.
A powerful dog whose courage would save his life.
This fucking audio,
and a beautiful woman whose love would steal his heart.
You know what?
Door locked for you, John.
I have a way to fix
Rick
this.
Schroeder and
but
Mia
you're gonna have to
Sarah
hang
in
on
Jack
for a
London's
second.
Greatest Adventure, a Kraft General Foods
know what?
premiere movie, Call of the Wild.
I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna just hardwire the audio into the computer. And so while I go grab the relevant cable, I'm gonna play a little song for you guys. You know, I never understood what he meant by that. Like, what? He won't do what? Like, it must be pretty bad. Anyway, ended up using several cables to make this happen, but this should work now. All right, let's see. What is this one? So, all right. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Okay, let me do this. Oh, the magic of live streaming with VHS. Okay, I promise this is gonna work. I know what I'm doing. It's just there's a lot of a lot of stupid shit I gotta do. Okay, here we go. This should be fine. And now I just have to change the settings here so I can hear it. What's that called? Number 3. Okay. This should work, but I'll probably have to put filters on it again. Let's have a listen. And let me mute this here, and let me mute that, and fuck it, I'll mute that too. All right, let me just make sure this works. It does, and it's got that awful sound, so I'm gonna put the filter on. Oh, so many things to click. Sorry, I didn't try. I tested it out. I didn't realize it was gonna be out of sync like that, because it didn't seem out of sync when I was trying this out. So, all right, we're gonna just do noise suppression. There we go. And just like that, I think it'll work. Yeah, all right.
Tonight, Kraft
sounds way
General
better.
Foods invites you to enjoy the very finest
So I don't
in
need all those
quality
other
television.
effects on it.
The Kraft
So-
General Foods premiere movie,
Here we go.
Call of the Wild, starring Rick Schroeder.
Rick Schroeder. Good old Rick Schroeder. Call of the Wild. So the first commercial break doesn't happen for a minute because they got to get you hooked. Get you hooked on Rick Schroeder. And then once you're looped in, it'll turn into commercial paradise. Going to Alaska. I think that's where he goes. I read that book when I was like 10. Yeah, there's the of course, the wise Indian friend that teaches the white man everything. And the evil Russian characters that hate dogs and Indians. Oh, look, there we go.
Stranger in his truck.
All right. Commercial 1.
Hey, have you heard about new raspberry ice? It's
I
the
have
newest
not.
flavor from Crystal Light.
Oh, you mean-
Go ahead, taste it.
A powderized chemical I can stick in
That's
water
new raspberry ice Crystal
to
Light.
ruin my kidneys? That sounds amazing. Why just drink water, boomers? We've made this powder that you can pour into water. It'll taste like candy. It'll be amazing.
Newest way to turn water into wow.
Wow. This water's not good
Stranger
enough.
and his trusty grill stood ready for the bite. Other sauces against bullseye to see which tasted right.
Well, first thing that stands out to me on this one is that he's white.
Then masterpiece
And that he's shooting things. And, you know, that's as depressing as that sounds. Even though he's shooting with a bottle of barbecue sauce, just the fact that he's pointing and shooting at things, like, that just seems normal. Like, it's not a big deal. It's supposed to be like a cowboy theme. But if they made this commercial not in 1993, then well, first of all, he'd be black, and he'd have a white woman, and there'd be no shooting going on.
against Bullseye Big Bowl Taste.
Oh, look at all those white
Stranger had won the day with a sauce that beat the rest. The Big
the
Bowl
white one?
Taste of Bullseye tastes the best. Try Bullseye Honey Smoke and Western Grill with the smoky taste of outdoor grilling.
Again, it's a white male positive commercial in a way. I mean, look, it's stupid. It's for barbecue sauce, whatever, right? But it's showing this tough, rugged individual cowboy white guy as the main character. He's not getting shit on at the end. There's no message that like, oh, look, and he's not as strong as the woman. You know, there's no stupid thing at the end that's like, oh, yeah, and also he's gay. It's just, no, he's just like this white guy. And he's tough, and he gets the woman at the end. No, and that's it. And I know people are going to think I'm overanalyzing this shit or whatever, or I'm being trivial. This stuff matters. The fact that as normal as that commercial seemed, as unnecessary as it might seem to analyze it, because of how normal it seems, that's precisely why you have to analyze it, because today you wouldn't be able to make that commercial. As stupid as that is, you wouldn't be able to make that commercial. All right, let's take a look at what this white lady is going to try to sell you.
I'm about to introduce you to a brand new cereal. But before I show you what it looks like, I'd like to show you what it tastes like. Home-baked banana nut bread. If you'd like a slice of this, you're going to love a bowl of this. New Banana Nut Crunch cereal.
Actually kind of sounds good.
Real banana baked into crunchy oat clusters and crispy wheat flakes with chopped walnuts. New Banana Nut Crunch from Post.
Because why give your kids a nice breakfast in the morning when you can just use what we literally use to get animals fat at a farm? You know, it's funny, all these people that like the diet and think that by eating oatmeal's good. Oatmeal's the good carbs. Oatmeal is literally what you give cows to fatten them up. It is. And all these cereals, that's really what it's for. It's identical to, like, it's the kind of feed, it's kid feed. That's what it is. It's kid feed. And look, I don't have a problem with having options to have something that stores well. I mean, look, I got like, I have a year's supply of food or more. It's convenient. It's nice to have that. But something that I think we're going to see especially because this is sponsored by Kraft, right? Kraft Foods. Kraft also owns Budweiser, or the other way around. I don't remember which way that goes. But anyway, Kraft is huge. You might want to check out I'm pretty sure the early life on those people matches up with that first tape I played. You know what? Let me find out. I'm pretty sure it does. Kraft Foods. Big conglomerate, though. It's. Oh, they've merged with Heinz now. John Kerry's wife's company. All right, Kraft Foods. Let's take a look here. Wikipedia. History. It doesn't. Who was the founder? Oh, there we go. James L. Kraft. Well, his nose is looking suspect. Let's take a look here. Life and career. There's no early life? Oh, well, here we go. I mean, his house was literally, his mansion was designed by Abraham Epstein. So, I mean, anyway, let's go. I thought that was interesting. Parents to, all right. Franklin Kraft. It doesn't say that anywhere that I can see. I mean, he was German, but I don't know that he was, this might be one of those things where he's German, but I don't know. I don't know for a fact. I could be wrong about this. I thought I'd heard something about that. But if not, Abraham Epstein still made his mansion, so whatever. It is what it is. Moving right along. The reason we're going to see a lot of these commercials for the way that Kraft Foods got and a lot of the, not just Kraft, there's a lot of these, Nestle, a lot of these big companies, they got gigantic because here was the problem, right? Once you had the boomer women going to their jobs instead of, staying at home and preparing meals for their family and, being mothers, well, you had a problem. You didn't have time to do those things. If you were working 8 hours a day, plus the commute and everything else, plus like your own personal stuff, like boomer parents were just out to lunch the entire time. So the problem is your kids still had to eat, right? I mean, even people in prison get food, right? So there became this entire industry of kid feed, where it was no different than just dumping a can of cat food into a bowl and then saying, eat it, and walking away. Like that was it. It was kid feed. And that's what all of these companies make. When it comes right down to it, all these products, it's kid feed. So you don't have to actually pay attention to what your kids eat. You don't have to actually prepare the food. You can just, in fact, in many cases, you don't even have to, open the can of cat food and dump it in the bowl. You can just say, it's in the pantry. Go make yourself a bowl of cereal. Go pour your own kid feed. You're old enough to do that. I'm going to be working late. Get yourself something out of the freezer. It stopped pausing. Apparently time's up. Anyway, we'll go on to the next commercial because apparently the VCR has had enough. It wants to keep going. But I suspect that's what a lot of these are going to be.
Chocolate lovers, we're smacking, live smacking like never before. New Cool Whip,
there you go. Cool Whip. Have fat in sugar infused fat on your food. I do think it's funny that so far we haven't really seen any black people, and when they finally decide to have some black people, it's for something. It's a chocolate thing, but might have even been intentional. Anyway, so there you go. Here's sugar infused fat, and it's non-dairy. So who knows where this fat's coming from? It's just like this whipped up, probably soybean oil with sugar in it.
Kraft singles taste better because they're made from 5 ounces of milk.
Look at that. Mystery cheese. Yeah, Kraft singles. It's just, it's not real cheese. It's just like a cheese-like substance. Smeared between two pieces of plastic that even your kid can peel open and shove in his gullet. It's instead of sugar infused fat, it's just yellow dyed fat.
And a rocket, then they shoot it to the Milky Way, and when it gets back, it's buzzed in with milk.
More milk means better taste, and every Kraft single is made from 5 ounces of milk. Unlike imitation cheese made mostly with oil and water.
It looks like the moon.
Milk makes Kraft singles taste better.
K-R-A-F-T.
Now when you buy specially marked packages of Kraft singles, you get a free pop-up action baseball player card inside.
Holy shit, Mom! We need Kraft singles. No, I don't want the generic. We need Kraft singles because it's got like this guy on a cardboard square.
We now return to the Kraft General Foods premiere movie.
No, we don't. We're gonna zip right past. Hopefully not as long though, because now you're into it. Now you have to keep watching. You're like, okay, I got to see what happens with this this Indian guy and his dog and the snow. Oh, looks like they're having some trouble. The Indian guy saved him. It's cool. It's cool. Stupid white guy. Oh no! Now there's trouble. Trouble from his favorite dog. I forget how this. Whoa! There we go.
Let's not unpack.
Do it tomorrow. I wish we were still in Vienna.
Me too. Here, this will take you back.
Chocolate. This reminds me of the coffee that we had
That night.
Viennese Chocolate Cafe, rich coffee with a touch of luscious chocolate.
That was my favorite night in Vienna.
But we never went out.
Celebrate!
I know.
General Foods International.
Hey. You know, look, I'm actually okay with that. I'm okay with that. Whatever. I have nothing to complain about with that. I'd much rather that than, wet ass pussy. Okay? Because kids will watch that and have no idea what it means. It's fine. You're using sex to sell, but not in like a gross way. And it's a product that is not something that you're going to be dumping into a bowl for your kids. So, all right. I'm okay with this one.
Let's make good season.
I'm already not okay with this, and not just because a black lady's making it.
It's so much better when you make it fresh.
Oh, and isn't that refreshing? Speaking of fresh, it's a black man not with a white woman. In a commercial, can you imagine? That's the most refreshing thing about this.
Good season. You make it.
See, that's the big lie. You're making it. Here, get this packet of who knows what's in it. It's it's made in this giant machine that has a bunch of chemicals that no one can pronounce on the back. We'll throw in a couple real things in there that probably contain GMOs and lots of pesticides, but whatever. And you can make your own. You made it. You just open this little packet and pour in your favorite really bad for you vegetable oil, probably soy, who knows, and then pour that on the only part of the food that's good. Just get the salad part. Here, just pour this poison that you made. You made the poison. It's good.
You make it best.
You make it best.
If we were to take the shells out of Velveeta shells and cheese and add rotini pasta,
if Kraft singles are bad, then this is just like pure fucking cancer.
To our rich, creamy Velveeta cheese sauce, you know what would happen? Something good. Try Velveeta rotini and cheese with broccoli.
Yeah.
Tonight's Kraft General Foods premiere movie will continue in a moment.
Oh, good.
They told her daughter couldn't have a child.
All my daughter has ever wanted was to have a baby.
See, nowadays they'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with your daughter then? What the hell's wrong with her?
What they said.
With in vitro fertilization, I can be her surrogate.
I remember the show.
It's never been done before.
This is where her mom is a surrogate mother for her grandchild.
Of a mother's desire to fulfill a daughter's.
See, I got mixed feelings about that. All right, so on one level, it's nice that she wants a kid. If it worked out the way that I think that it did, where it's genetically it's their kid, and everything works out fine. But the problem is, there's a lot of problems in terms of if you're a purist on abortion. Something you should know about in vitro. You end up killing fertilized eggs because the way that they do it is they get a bunch of eggs, especially if you're, these women that freeze their eggs and stuff like that, right? And then you're going to activate them or whatever. What they do is they fertilize more than it's not just like, oh, we're going to fertilize this one egg and then implant it. No, they fertilize like a bunch. And then so you're in a way, when you do this, you're having like lots of abortions at the same time because it's not just the one that gets fertilized. They discard some of the other ones. So not a lot of people know that. Something to think about, those of you who are women listening who want to put your eggs on ice and think that that's an option. Just know what's involved there. That's part of it. But there's something just a little weird and unnatural about this, but I don't know. I don't know.
You're going to get too attached.
Ann Jillian and Tracy Gold.
Do you think I've made a mistake?
Labor of Love, 2 weeks from tonight.
You made a miracle.
And I'll take with me the memory.
After 14 years. 344 episodes. Lovers and enemies. Oh, it's some kind of trashy soap opera. I have no idea what this is. Husband.
How they say goodbye.
What is this?
And the night with Knots Landing, May 13th.
I've never seen that, but I remember the name vaguely.
We now return to the Kraft
Alrighty.
General Foods premiere movie.
Now, I told you the story about when my mom used to watch soap operas during the day and it actually stopped because I was at home and I asked too many questions about what some of the things they were talking about meant. And it seemed a little degenerate to me, and I think it hit her like, oh, well, if my 8-year-old knows that this is fucked up, maybe I shouldn't be watching it, especially not with them in the room. All right, so he's out in the snow, more in the snow. Oh, whoa, Maxwell House. Oh, I got something to say to you guys.
Come on. March!
Don't die on me. All right.
Fire from beneath the mountains gave the land its richness, and the land gave the richness to the coffee of Colombia. That's why Maxwell House uses more Colombian beans than anyone in
Stop
America.
using volcano
Because
beans
better
then.
beans
That's
make
the
better
problem.
coffee.
The volcano beans are not good.
The coffees of Maxwell House, blended with rich Colombian beans.
Stop using them. I
Always
can tell you,
with
man.
the
Like
last
this,
one.
whatever they do
Because
to
the meeting
beans, it's
never
not
ends when they say it will.
Introducing Minute Recipes.
Because practice always lasts.
Okay, this is exactly what I was talking about. This commercial is literally, wow, you don't have time to be a mom because the meeting is going too long and soccer practice and your day is full of all these things you got to do. And the soccer practice one, that's like if your mom's actually at least trying, you know. So instead, here's some kid feed. Or I guess in this case, you can give this to your husband too. Here's just some dried out crap food that you can pour water in, and then it's food.
More minutes.
Recipes are recipes you make in 30 minutes or less.
Because the curtain goes up at 7:30 on the dot.
For delicious
I don't have time to be a
like
mom.
stir-fried pepper steak.
Just look on the back of the box. Because you can only...
Yeah, we're going to look at the back of the box.
These from Minute Rice.
Minute Recipes. Great meals for the time you have.
You know what? As unwholesome as Minute Rice is, what is wholesome was the fact that look at that family. Well, I don't want to fuck it up, but let's see if it'll rewind a little bit without. Oh no, it went too fast.
Because the curtain goes up at 7:30 on the dot.
For delicious meals like stir-fried pepper steak.
Just look on the back of the box. Because you can only get recipes.
There we go. Look, it's like a normal family. There's no like black husband and mulatto gay, paraplegic kid. It's just like a normal family. Normal family. This is what was normal still, kind of. Yeah, it was changing in 1993.
Recipes. Great meals for the time you have.
What are you doing, Sam? You are getting sleepy. What? You will now call Kraft macaroni and cheese.
See, it's kid
Kraft
feed.
Cheese and macaroni. Cause it's the cheese.
I mean, macaroni and cheese, that's like the pinnacle of kid feed. Here, have some carbs with fat slathered all over it. Yum. No protein at all. Just a bunch of I guess there's probably like trace amounts of protein in the fake cheese they make. But again, look, and I can relate. The reason I'm getting maybe a little more spurgy and bent out of shape than if you this, I don't know if your parents were like this. But this is what my parents were like. Here's dinner. Here's dinner. Oh, and by the way, one of us made it. It wasn't here's dinner, actually. It was go make some macaroni and cheese. And you're like, okay. So you just make this awful space food.
Kraft macaroni and cheese dinner has more cheese than anyone else. That's why it's the cheesiest.
You hand over your cheese and macaroni. I was this close.
Oh,
Kraft cheese and macaroni, the cheesiest.
It's the cheesiest.
Season after season, year after year. Nothing.
See, log cabin syrup would mean something totally different in 2021.
Morning is breakfast with log cabin syrup. Log cabin. Maple flavor. And made from 5 ounces of milk. How do they do that?
They take the slice and make it into a rocket, and they shoot it to the Milky Way. And when it gets back, it busts in.
Tell your mom.
Get involved with a woman like Frida?
Well, unless he wants to see what hell is really like.
Evening shade. Then, when Bob breaks his hand, will his friend take his job?
These look like the hands of an illustrator. No, they're the hands of an underwear salesman.
All new Bob, Monday. Get the answers to your most amazing questions. 15 flips at 200 miles an hour with only a scratch on the chin. How'd they do that? Find out Wednesday. Academy Award winner Joanne Woodward in a Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation.
Let's see if we can do some good.
A public figure fighting all the right fights.
What?
Now she's fighting for her daughter's life.
I'm afraid she might miscarry.
Her daughter's love.
The Phoebe used drugs. You've seen that baby. Do you think it's possible she was drug affected?
Are you prepared to take custody of your granddaughter?
How can you do
crack
this?
babies?
I'm trying to do something for you. Stop doing things for me.
What caused her to have a blind spot? Next Sunday.
I don't know what that's
This
about.
is CBS.
Wake up your skin every morning with a cleansing, skin pampering experience. Neutrogena Rain Bat Refreshing Shower Gel.
Yeah, this is clearly just, let's use porn
Feel
to sell
silky, soft, smooth,
chemicals
really
to put on
clean,
your body.
fresh skin. Don't just cleanse your body, rain bath it. Neutrogena Rain Bath.
These chemicals.
For skin with a healthy Neutrogena glow.
Oh, is that like Enigma playing in the background?
Special values now in the Neutrogena section.
McDonald's has the flavor Texans crave. I'm talking fresh lettuce, tomato, and red onions. Add that special sauce to a juicy half-pound of beef and 2 kinds of cheese from McDonald's.
I like the disclaimer. You can't see it because, oh, there it goes. Wait, he said a half pound of beef, and then underneath it says, wait before cooking.
Double, or the double McDonald's Texas whole.
By the way, I've literally never seen anything that's come out of McDonald's actually look like that. Like, not even remotely close. Like, not even a little bit. Like, there's no McDonald's on the planet that has ever handed someone anything that looks like that.
With that zesty mustard that Texans prefer. On the lighter side, taste the new grilled chicken deluxe with mayo. Or for extra zip, try the spicy chicken deluxe with a spicy breading and a mellow slice of Monterey Jack. McDonald's Texas.
See, because no one has time. See, wage slaves, it's not just the moms that don't have time to prepare food for their children. It's everybody. All you wagies out there. When would you have the time? I mean, if your mom's not doing it and your wife's not doing it, for men, right? Because this didn't just affect the children. This affected the husbands too. If you have, watch like a movie from, or even a TV show or something like that from like the 1950s, and you'll see that often what happens, depending on like the class, I guess, of the family, the wife prepares the lunch and gives it to him on his way out the door. So he takes it with him. And that's after he's sat down and had the breakfast that she prepared for him. And then when he gets home, dinner's on the table. Okay? So food is a big part of, the wife and mother's job. And it's an important job. And when you get her working somewhere at some stupid office making PowerPoints all day instead so that she can feel more important or whatever, then someone's got to do that, right? Someone's got to pack your lunch. Someone's got to cook your breakfast. Someone's got to make your dinner. So what happens? Well, for breakfast, you get the kid feed, the food that, like I said, is literally what they give a cattle to fatten them up. For lunch, you eat this crap, like a half pound of beef, which actually that in and of itself is actually, that's fine, right? But let's put lots of sugar all over it. That's what every sauce that is at McDonald's has. It's just full of sugar. The buns are full of sugar. The French fries, well, now they're boiled in soybean oil that makes you gay and retarded. So someone's got to take care of it. And who takes care of it? Capitalism. That's who takes care of it anytime there's a need, right? There's an opportunity. And when capitalism takes care of a problem, how does it take care of that problem? Does it take care of that problem by saying, you know what is the best way to fulfill the nutritional needs of these people that are too busy to have someone cook for them or to cook for themselves because they're wage slaving all day, maybe at McDonald's? What can we do to solve that? No, that's not what they do. They say, how can we make the most goddamn money off this problem? How can we make the cheapest food with the biggest margins? If there's a chemical we can spray on it that makes it delicious and it's legal, well, let's do it. If it sells, even though we find out later that it causes diabetes and all this other stuff, so what? People buy it. This is what happens when the free market is tasked with solving the problem. And all you people out there that say, oh, well, it's up to the consumer. You don't have to buy McDonald's. You don't have. Yeah, you don't, right? Obviously you don't. But again, the problem exists. The reason why all these processed food companies sprang into existence was because the wage slaves didn't have enough time to actually do anything, especially with their wife and mother wage slaving it away as well. And so what did they have instead? They had the Texas-sized sandwiches, whatever the fuck these things are. They had the Kraft macaroni and cheese, being very liberal about the cheese part. They had the Velveeta, on broccoli. Yeah, let's get the one good food and pour all this bad shit on it. Same thing with the salad dressing. Look, you made it. You made the poison. It's better now. What? People don't have to buy it. No, they don't have to buy it. But now you're thinking like a sociopath capitalist. You're literally saying I'm a private company in a different way.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Yeah, see? What you want is what you get. Sorry, but the dumbed down cattle often want, they want the food version of crack.
B, here's the milk. It's the last one. We're waiting for this morning's shipment of pure, fresh Borden milk.
Okay, am I the only one that's kind of creeped out by like a lady cow trying to sell me her breast milk? I don't know. A little bit weirded out by this.
When it comes to premium quality and freshness, you can always trust Borden milk. Hey, Mom, you would know.
And isn't he a little old to be drinking breast milk? I don't know.
That's why Borden milk is the milk lover's choice. And naturally, it's the only brand we cows endorse. Tastes good with cereal. Hey, watch it, B.
See, if you gotta have milk, you're buying the cereal, right? You got to have the milk. And my guess, that milk is probably chock full of hormones and antibiotics. Yeah, you get the kid feed and pour these antibiotics and these steroids on it. Just say, I don't know why girls are developing breasts at age 8 now, and when that didn't used to happen until they were like 14 or 15. I don't know why. It can't possibly be hormones that are put in the milk, because again, capitalism is solving the problem. It's not, hey, how do we make the best milk? No, it's how do we make the most profit off milk?
I see the milk has...
Oh, gross. She literally just sprayed breast milk all over her husband's face.
If it's Borden, it's got to be good.
A horse falls on spectators at the Flambeau Parade, more at 10.
God, I wish he'd recorded that. I want to know more about that.
Now return to the Kraft General Foods premiere.
Here we go. More Indians, and we'll do one more commercial break, and then I'll go to chat. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I read this book like a million years ago. I don't remember much about it. Oh, I thought they were going to go to commercial break right there. Oh, here we are. Oh, this looks interesting.
So, what brings you to Clausen's? I'm looking to cook pickles. I'm a pickle cook. Pickles are what I cook. Gherkins, croquettes, dill, spears, chunks, chips. You name it. Our Clausen pickles. What about shelf life? What about shelf life? Most pickles sit on a shelf. You've got to cook about taste. What about taste? I'm picky about taste.
Unlike most pickles, Clausen pickles are never cooked. They're always cold, always crisp, always delicious.
That's funny.
And something about the name there, Clausen.
Hey, can we add some wow to your water? Crystal Light. You tried it?
Oh, good. More poison powder. Pour the poison powder in your water. Don't drink that stupid water.
That's pink grapefruit. Now try lemon lime.
Oh my God. I can actually tolerate drinking water now.
Okay.
Thanks.
How about fruit punch? And there's only 5 calories a glass.
Only 5 calories?
So turn your water into wow.
That shouldn't be possible.
With Crystal Light.
Velveeta Shells and Cheese asks, why play around with a powder when cream is what you crave? Real Velveeta cheese sauce makes us the smoothest,
Mylar bag
creamiest macaroni and cheese around. So why settle for a powder when cream?
Why have a powder? Just have a Mylar bag of goo.
Practice always lasts just a few more
We've
minutes.
added the water for you
Minute
at the
recipes.
factory.
Recipes you make in 30 minutes or less.
For delicious meals like stir-fried pepper steak.
Just look on the back of the box.
That's a different VO on the same.
Great meals for the time you have.
But no, same theme. You don't have time. You don't have time to make food. Buy our shit. You don't have time.
Introducing Capio, iced cappuccino, new from Maxwell House.
Fucking Maxwell House. I swear to God. Bane of my existence right now.
A splash of chocolate flavor, Capio cinnamon, an unexpected twist. Capio coffee, smooth and refreshing. So many tastes.
Never mind.
So little time. New Capio. The thrill is the chill.
Do you know what's in your cereal? Oh, it has added salt. It has sugar. Added fat. Oh, well, in that case, I guess it's fine, because it's just pure grain. Again, don't get that horse feed that's designed to fatten them up, the kind that's coated in sugar with more fat on it, although, like, obviously that is pretty fucked up. No, just get the regular horse feed and then pour the hormone infused antibiotic milk onto it. It's healthy, we promise. we didn't put salt or sugar on it or fat. So it's got to be
shredded
good.
wheat. It's just naturally good.
It's natural. I got news for you. Poison ivy is fucking natural.
We now return.
All right. So anyway, I'm gonna hit stop here. So that's 1993, folks. Let's take a look at chat here. This shit hits hard. My diet as a kid was 60% hot dogs and cereal. I got spanked for not draining out the water of the mac and powder because I should have known how to cook it. Boomer parents. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, Devin, I understand the thing about black people, but I just need you to know that they are sneakier than you think. Jays want a race war to benefit themselves. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to get... I'm not concerned about that. They're just trying to divide us, guys. They're just trying to divide us. I mean, I hate that shit. I hate it because... Look, we are divided. We're already divided. That's the whole point. And by the way, they're not trying to divide us. They're trying to mash us all together. Does it look like they're trying to divide us when they have every fucking commercial as a black guy with a white woman? That seems like they're trying to mix us together, doesn't it? Doesn't sound like they're trying to divide us. It's just simply wrong. These people that freak out about that, it drives me crazy because look, that's the way it is. That's the whole point. This is what I'm saying. Like I've said, look at anytime people have the option to voluntarily look at prisons. You know, there's why are there black churches? Why is there black Twitter? You see what I'm saying? Like we're different. We're different. I'm not saying start a race war because I'm pointing out that we're different. I'm saying we're different. And to say that like, oh, Jews are trying to trick you into thinking that black and whites are different. No, they're different. They're different. If they were trying to trick me into thinking that black and whites are different, they wouldn't have like the insane amount of race mixing commercials that they have going on. Like every commercial wouldn't be like a black guy making out with a white woman. It's like I've said before, what they're trying. I mean, we're cattle, right? And they want to make. They don't want their cattle are easier to manage if it is just one big muddy group. If it's just one group. And I know there's people that, oh no, it's easier if there's all these subgroups and they're all fighting each other. Yeah, if the subgroups are powerless and weak, I guess. Is that what you're saying? You're so powerless and weak that you can't accomplish. Is it like that Snow music video? You know, like, oh yeah, we're so much weaker than the black man. You know, it's again, I'm not saying at no point have I said anything about race wars, but we are different. And the media has been anti-white for, well, I mean, look, that was 1993. There's this whole, like I said, this whole thing about like, oh, they're trying to divide us. That's cuck shit. It's cuck shit is what it is. It's cuck shit. And again, like I said, like, I know there's probably black people listening to this. At least one. I would find it hard to believe if statistically speaking, there's not at least one, right? And that's fine, right? I'm not saying let's go kill the darkies. I'm saying they've been saying in media, let's kill the whitey for 30 years. And if you just sit there and take it like a bitch, like you've been doing for 30 years as a people, it leads to genocide. And so if you can't have some kind of pride in who your people are, then you're not going to exist for much longer than that. What's worth preserving? I mean, if we're all just supposed to be a melting pot or whatever anyway, what's the point of all this? Why wouldn't you might as well just have voted for Biden? You know, that's what he wants. He's all excited that white people will be in an absolute minority. And probably are already. Like, remember when he said this, he said it was going to be happening in 2017. He probably knew something we didn't when he said that. It probably did happen in 2017. So, not being able to look up for yourself and not. Every time Jews are trying to divide us. And look at like in Living Color. Look how black people, white guy did a. If we were all included, it wouldn't. It bothered. It bothered. I was playing. Started when it was just no video. There's people in chat. Like it was a wig. Different. Yeah. Some like rainbow coalition to get things done. Let me take a look. I always say how we Judeo-Christian development. Rush Limbaugh. Hail the new Rush Limbaugh. That's what they're just replacing the that helps break down alcohol. So what happens is their blood alcohol that's higher faster than someone whose genetics is that they've been drinking alcohol for ever, right? And because they had no selection pressures that involved alcohol at all for however long they were on this continent, right? And so you have these people bring in this foreign stuff, it's going to fuck them all up. Now, that said, yeah, grain should not be the number one part of your diet. The whole food pyramid, as South Park, famously did that episode where they said, "Oh, the food pyramid is right. It's just upside down." Because the food pyramid was saying, if you guys, I'll bring it up. I don't know if you guys remember the food pyramid. Food pyramid. I mean, they gave me this in school. They were like, here you go, guys. And I guarantee you, if you research who funded this food pyramid, it would be a lot of these advertisers that, it'd be Kraft, right? I mean, why? I mean, if they didn't, they should have. because this is basically a giant advertisement for Kraft. And look, it's not just Kraft. There's so many companies like that in America where they're huge. I mean, they're fucking huge international companies that make people feed. They make baby feed. They make kid feed. They make husband feed. They make you feed. You know, that's all it is. That's all it is. Let's take a look here. This is the food pyramid. That brings the front. Yeah, so, I mean, what's wrong with this picture? Lots. So, the bottom of the food pyramid is all grain. It's all grains. And then next up, even this is kind of wrong. That's the other thing that they did too, is they said fruits and vegetables are good. They're like basically the same thing. You know, they're on the same level, right? It's totally the same thing if you eat a banana that's got like 180 calories or whatever it is, versus if you eat some broccoli, which will have like, 10 or 20 calories and no sugar. It's all this. It's plants. That's all. It's a plant level. And so that's why you had all those the fruit juices, like remember the Capri Sun. Here's a Mylar bag with sugar water in it that we will put on the label, and moms will give that to their kids. Moms will get a lunchbox that ties in some kind of Hollywood propaganda on it. So they'll get this plastic box that has Hollywood propaganda on it. They'll open it up, and then they'll drop in. This is if you're lucky. Like, I didn't even get this half the time, or not even like, I'd say I got this like 10% of the time. The rest of it, I was eating school lunches or some bullshit like that. Open up this plastic box, drop in a Mylar bag full of sugar water, drop in if you get those kids that got the Lunchables, those are like the higher class kids, right? Drop in a plastic box with Velveeta, with Kraft products. I think Kraft actually made Lunchables. And then if your mom feels like I need him to be eating healthy, she'll throw like an apple in there or a banana or something like that. And then a Mylar bag full of chips. So what are chips? Chips are just like grains that have been processed to all the holy hell and boiled in soybean oil to make you gay and retarded and autistic, and covered in salt. And like that's lunch. Growing boy needs his lunch. And it was totally fine. It was totally fine. And then the very, very, very top, that's meat, right? Well, I mean, like at the very, very top, there's cupcakes and shit, but like that shouldn't even be in there, right? I mean, in terms of like, if they're trying to describe what's going to make you healthy, like a cupcake is never going to make you healthy. It's not going to kill you, but it's, anyway. But yeah, the meat, they make meat look like it's the least important thing. And then look at this other one that they mix and match. They're, oh, look, lobster is the same as eggs and cheese. Like, what? Like, how does that work? Why is milk on the same tab as shrimp? Like that makes no sense. So it was just a bunch of retards that didn't meet. That's what it was. It was a bunch of people that I mean, look what is Bill Gates doing now? What are they trying to do with the 3D printed meat? They have never wanted you to eat meat. They don't want you eating beef. And it's funny because beef is one of the few meats. Every meat, or not every meat, but most meats lack things, right? So we've talked about how I wanted to get rabbits and raise rabbits, and it's the most efficient way to crank out meat. It's super cheap. It doesn't take up a lot of space. They breed well, like rabbits. Even their shit is like instant fertilizer. Like you don't have to compost it. It's ready to go. You can just, it's like really good. They'll eat garbage. I mean, they'll eat cactus pads. But if you only try to eat rabbit food or rabbits for your food, it lacks some of the nutrients that beef has. And so does poultry, by the way. Beef, if all you did, and this is real, if all you ate ever, and I mean all you ate ever, was steaks, you'd be fine. You could live like a long, healthy life eating only steak. And there's people that do it. You'd be totally fine. It'd probably get boring, but you'd be totally fine. So it's crazy that they have that shit at the very, very top there, because it worked better with what they wanted to do. Like, you ever see those commercials when you were a kid where they would say, they would do like it always puzzled me as a kid. As an adult, I figured it out. But like, I remember being a kid and there'd be a commercial, and it wouldn't be for like Kraft cheese. It would just be for cheese. And I'd be thinking like, well, you're just telling me to buy cheese? Like, but you're not telling me like it's not from a brand. And at the end of the commercial, it always say like, you know, paid for by, and then it would be like some government entity. The government was telling you to eat cheese. And it wasn't just cheese. They had commercials like this all the time for just whatever. And it's because it was capitalism. It was supply and demand. They were trying to certain products isn't the word I'm trying to think of, but you know what I mean. Like, they're trying to unload cheese on the public, and your tax dollars were paying to promote cheese. So anyway, let me hide this. Look at chat. Someone says it's lack of vitamin C. You're talking about vitamin C for beef. No, you can literally, you won't get scurvy. I don't know if you guys are talking about scurvy. You won't get scurvy if all you eat is beef. You will literally be fine. There's people that do that. There are people that they only eat beef and they don't have scurvy. If you only eat fish, you'll get scurvy. That's why sailors would get it all the time. Do you know that BitChute removed your hopium video? Are you sure? I don't think they did. I would look again, because I'm not aware of them removing any of my videos. I'll look after the show. If it is in fact gone, I'll raise a stink about it, but I'm almost positive it's there. All right, well, look again. There's lots of people that tell me they can't find my videos, and they're always there. Look for a different name. Maybe it's not the right name. Because I did more than one hopium video. I did like 3. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about. My school made kids pay for food so the parents could just give them cash instead of preparing even the craft foods. No, that's what I had to do a lot of times. And it was usually worse than like some of the, or at least it tastes worse. Maybe it wasn't worse. I don't know. At least with the school, maybe there was someone somewhat concerned with the nutrition of children, but how concerned were they, you know, and you know, how bright are you, or if that's your job now, like you're the school lunch lady, like that's how your life turned out, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, but yeah, it's I mean, fuck, they even had, and there was a lot of kids that got free lunch. There were for some reason, a lot of Laotian immigrants when I was a kid, where I was at, and Cambodians. And I don't know if this was because of post-Vietnam or whatever, but there was just like a ton of jungle Asians, right? And they all got free lunches. All of them. And, you know, because nothing's free, someone was paying for that, right? It wasn't them. Make my own food pyramid and post it on Telegram. I wouldn't even have to post it on Telegram. Let me just do this. I think someone made one already. Or I'm sure one exists. That's my talking cat food thing, if you guys can hear that. It happens during the show sometimes. All right, this will work. Yeah, you don't need a food pyramid. You just need... This is your new food pyramid, for those of you wondering what you should eat. I'm kidding. Sort of. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your needs. That's the thing. What we're talking about, like that guy that mentioned the Pacific Islanders that couldn't handle the grains. Your biology has a lot to do with what food you need. And maybe this is an important topic to talk about. So, just as an example, when I first started growing cactus in the desert, I'd never tried to grow cactus. You know, I just thought, well, they're cactus. They'll like the desert. And a surprising, I just got like a billion different kinds of cactuses. As soon as I found out you could like root cactus pads, I got really excited, and I was just like rooting all these cactus and then sticking them out in the desert. And was surprised, I don't know why, but I was surprised to discover that an awful lot of these cactus pads couldn't handle the sun and died because they got sunburned and shriveled and just died. They couldn't handle the heat. And I was like, well, what's wrong with you? You're a cactus. Cactus should love this. And then I found out that some of the cactus that loved the sun and were growing great, and I was like, perfect. Then one night, it dipped down around freezing, and like a bunch of cactus that were doing great just all died, like immediately. And then some hung in there a little longer, like they made it like almost all the way, and then they died. And I'm thinking to myself, but you're all cactus. This doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, yeah, in fact, they're all the same kind of cactus. They're all opuntias or opuntias or however you want to pronounce it. But the cactus, the kind that have pads, right? Any cactus that has pad, they're all related. I mean, you can crossbreed them. They're compatible. You can graft them to each other. I mean, they all come from the same source. But because they've evolved, like some of these cactuses have evolved in on the East Coast. And some of them have evolved in like swampy, humid areas. And some of them have evolved in cold mountains. And some of them have evolved, on shorelines by the beach. They all have different environments that they were in for, thousands of years. And so as a result, their biology has different requirements to survive. And by the way, it's not even just like the environment. It's not even just the sun and the cold. It was also like how you feed them, right? I had a big patch of cactus, and it was probably like 10 different kinds of cactus. And when I was first doing this, I was just watering like the whole thing, like just not like flooding it, but like just watering it all at once every time, the same amount of water. And especially when it was extra hot, because I was like, you can't water cactus too much because they will, develop root rot and die, right? Because they're not designed to be, well, it depends, right? So some of the cactuses were just fine. I had one or two, and it was always, and you could tell it was because it was that particular kind of cactus that this happened, because it happened in multiple parts of the yard. They had the same symptoms, where if you watered them even a little bit too much, they would rot and die like immediately. And then there were some cactus you could just leave them in mud like 24/7 and they would be fine. Like they would be totally okay. Because our biology is different, our requirements are different for nutrition. In the same way that look, we're talking about the environment stuff and black people, right? So black people require a lot more exposure to the sun to get an adequate amount of vitamin D. Why? Because they evolved in conditions where they had way more sun than people who with light skin. That's why you have light skin. So if you're Asian, like not jungle Asian, but if you're just Northern Asian, I guess, or European, you don't have that same requirement. You don't have to be in fact, the opposite. If you're in the sun too much, you'll burn up and get cancer, right? And it's because we evolved in totally different environments and we have totally different needs. And so there's a problem right now going on with all these Middle Easterners and people coming from very sunny climates to Europe, and that is contributing to some of the behavior you're seeing from these people because it affects them mentally. I mean, it does. It affects everybody mentally. Like if you don't get enough sun, if you're depressed, just by the way, this might be helpful to some of you. If you're depressed, hang out in the sun for a day. See what that does to your mood. I will be shocked if it doesn't improve your mood even just a little bit. Shocked. In fact, I suspect that's part of why you have some of these people that get addicted to tanning beds, because it's having a positive mood. It's a mood enhancer. So making a food pyramid just in general is ridiculous, because there is going to be no one size fits all. Different biologies are going to have different requirements. But because there was a problem and capitalism was there to fix it, you got the one size fits all, because that's the way to make the most money. When the objective isn't to solve a problem, it's to make money off a problem. That's how your problems get solved. Because you think if your whole industry exists, or the whole reason why you have the money, your whole system, the whole capitalist system, profiting off of problems, creating answers to problems, you think a system like that's going to care if the answers they come up with create more problems? Of course not. Why would they care about that? That's just more opportunity. If you find out, like if your problem is, well, people don't have time to make food because they're all working in the factories. So you come up with like this food crack that you can give them. And they eat the food crack, and then they I don't know, get heart disease or diabetes or cancer. Sweet. You know how much money you can make off heart disease, diabetes, and cancer? That's like a huge industry. You kidding me? And then if your solutions for those cause even more problems, even better. See, that's the problem, guys. When you leave things up to profit, when everything is left up to, well, supply and demand. You get fucked up problems like that, where you get infinite loops. So anyway, yeah, you need to research. Bottom line is, look back at what your ancestors ate and then adjust like a high. I'm all about, not eating sugar, even limiting your fruit intake, and grain, any bread. If all you do is just don't eat bread, you'll feel better. You'll just feel better. And then as much, the problem with fish is good, but the problem with fish is now you're starting to have like mercury and shit like that in the fish. But fish is good. Beef is good. I mean, pretty much every meat. There's not like a meat that I wouldn't eat, I don't think. I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head where it's like banned. I sometimes feel guilty about like the smarter meat. Even cows, man. Cows are smarter than you think, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We're at the top of the food chain. It's not our fault. that we have the brains to actually analyze what it is we're doing when we kill our food, whereas animals are largely just operating off of instinct. Speaking of which, like I shot at my first rabbit today. I didn't get him. I'll get him after this stream. He'll probably be out there because that's about the time that he shows up. But there's like a whole family of rabbits I'm gonna have to genocide because I planted like all these new cactuses because it's spring now, and like first day that they were out there, one of them got chewed in half. And so it's on. And I've fixed the fence as much as I possibly can, and they just find. I mean, I'll keep patching up if I find out where they get in. But sometimes it's like hard to tell. It's like I don't know. I don't know how I'd get in. You have to kind of catch them doing it. So anyway, because they'll dig and squirm through things. They're wriggly. They're wriggly, and I will be shooting at rabbits tonight. If I'm lucky and I can catch them. I'm going to be blasting some rabbits tonight. All right, let me take a look at that chat here. Isn't deer full of some brain-eating parasite now? I don't know. Haven't had any venison in a while. Let's see here. Hopium Crisis. Video taken down from BitChute confirmed. Not on Odyssey at all. Hopium Crisis taken down from BitChute confirmed. Are you sure? Let me take a look. I'd be surprised. No, it's there. Or maybe someone else posted it. It's on BitChute, just not under... Let me see. Where's the trailer for it on... Let's see. Wow! This video has been blocked for breaching community guidelines and is currently unavailable. All right, well, fuck BitChute is, all right, good call. Let's see here. I did not realize that would happen. I'm going to at them hard right now. Well, their days are numbered anyway. Odyssey is so much better. I guess I'll have to move it to Odyssey. All right, that is that's too bad. I had high hopes for BitChute. I bet a bunch of Q-tards fucking flagged it. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'll have to find it. I don't know what hard drive that would be on. I mean, I've got everything that I've made. I don't delete it. But it might be somewhere weird because my storage situation is kind of, I guess a nice way of putting it is it's decentralized. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. For those of you who don't know, it's like here's the when you get this is the message you get. It is real. Community guidelines starting to sound a lot like YouTube there. A little bait and switch, I think. I'm starting to think that BitChute was like, oh yeah, come over here. We're going to be free speech. And now that they've got a bunch of boomers there watching Q-tard shit, they're going to just be like, nah, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't. I mean, maybe they sent me an email I didn't see. I don't know how long it's been like that. Crazy, crazy. Well, I'm gonna click the appeal button. I wonder what'll happen. I wonder if it'll actually, if it'll be like YouTube. Oh, nothing happens when you click appeal. Yeah, you literally click appeal and nothing happens. That's fucked up. Yeah, it like the mouse over, when you put the mouse over it, it gives you the little hand like you can click it. But if you look down where like the link should be, there's no, it literally, there's no, man, this is fucked up. At least YouTube makes you pretend like you can appeal it. God damn, fucking BitChute. Fucking BitChute. Well, I guess that'll have to go to Odyssey. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant now, right? So I guess I don't know why I would need to move it there. It's just it was about people like Vox Day pushing QAnon and how stupid QAnon was. So my guess is it got flagged by a bunch of Q-tards that were angry about it. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Interesting. Look at the settings here. Yeah, it's blocked. Let's see, raise appeal. Reason, appeal, other. Yeah, it doesn't say what it is. You know what? I wonder what it might be, which is fucked up because not even YouTube does this. They might say, because there might have been a copyrighted song on there. So maybe they're going to start blocking, which would basically all my streams will get blocked, right? So they might be saying any content that's got a copyrighted song in it is going to just get blocked. Which is fucked up. I mean, YouTube doesn't even do that. But I think the way that YouTube avoids that is they monetize the video to the holder. And I guess BitChute can't do that because they can't monetize videos. So look, it might look, I don't want to go on a rampage with BitChute until I know more about this. But yeah, even if that's the case, that's not cool, bro. It's not cool. Well, good to know. Good to know. I just sent, like, I had to go to this other page and then, like, the appeal button magically worked. BitChute is either way, BitChute needs, like, I don't know, their dev team needs to step it up a notch. because I mean, look, the difference between BitChute and Odyssey, which is much newer, is night and day. And the other thing is too, BitChute was trying to say that they were decentralized and all this stuff, and they're really not. They're not. At least not in the way that they make it sound. And Odyssey is. As far as I know, it's all on the back of a blockchain, right? And that's why you can't censor it as easily. So anyway, good call there, my dude. It is what it is. Let's go to chat here. You have so much copyrighted songs and videos. Trust me, I have to cut them out almost every stream. Yep. No, there's a ton of them. Why do you have to cut them out though? Like it'll just not monetize. And if you're putting them on YouTube, they're going to demonetize. Well, I guess make money while you can. They're going to demonetize you eventually, though. Google what space movie was made in 1992. What space movie was made in 1992? 1992. What space movie was made in 1992? Oh, yep. I've heard of this movie before. So, yeah, I can't play that, obviously, but it's kind of like the dinosaur. It's only I saw part of this. Someone was streaming this on, I want to say DLive at some point, and I thought, I was like, there's no way this is like an actual movie. And it just keeps going. Like, I watched like 10 minutes of it before I was like, okay, this is actually like a fucking movie. I'm not gonna, like, or wait, no, well, this says it's only 6 minutes long. Is it like a, let me see. No, it's 26 minutes long. I thought it's like a real thing. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, that's interesting. That's very interesting. All right. I found that the healthiest blood is coffee, cigarettes, and stress, contempt. On occasion, add alcohol for clarity and digestion. Well, that's not a very healthy diet there, especially the alcohol. I'll every once in a while, but it's definitely, well, I guess to some degree that's the same thing, right? Like the biology thing. Like if you're Native American, almost never drink. But yeah, if in small amounts, it's not like a big. The cigarettes, that's a risk you're taking. Coffee, I don't know. Depends on who you ask. And as long as it's not Maxwell House, it's probably okay. Stress and contempt. You don't want stress. You do not want stress. Contempt is okay. I have a lot of contempt sometimes. But you don't need to be stressed out about it. It'll make you not live as long. Okay. I saw Black Jogger from Outer Space. It's very anti-woman. Is it? I didn't watch the whole thing. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was just sitting there thinking, like, how is this a thing? Like, how does this exist? And like I said, I watched it long enough because I was like, there's no way that this is an actual movie. Like this must be like a skit off of something that I've never heard of. And it wasn't. It just kept going. So I was like, all right. It wasn't interesting enough for me. Maybe I should sit down and watch the whole thing. That'd be a funny video to do. Let's see here. Yeah, gay N-words from outer space. That's if you look up what science fiction movie was made in 1992 or space movie. If you look up what space movie was made in 1992, it'll come right up. I mean, I didn't use Google. I used DuckDuckGo and it came right up. One of the tags for it is "Hero kills a woman" alongside racial slur and title. So I guess, is it just like anti-white woman or just anti-woman or what? I mean, who actually made this movie? Let me look. Who actually made this movie? Ha! Director Morten Lindberg. Morten Lindberg. Amazing. Amazing. Let me look at who wrote it here. If it ever loads up. Per Christensen. I don't know if that's like that's like a Swedish name, but I can't, there's no, they didn't really do anything else. They wrote that movie and some movie called Spectrum. That's Spectrum. Yeah, same director, same Morten Lindberg. Well, I guess they're both Danish. Yeah, they're both Danish. Maybe Lindberg is just Danish and not, I don't think so. But because Morten is kind of a dead giveaway too. Let's look and see. You fucking Danes. You guys are fucking weirdos. I'll give you that much. What is a new name? His new name is Master Fat Man. All right. Well, this is the guy. I got to show this picture just because, regardless of who this guy is. Here is the director of Space Niggas. 1992 film by this guy. He goes by Master Fat Man now. Let's see here. Is there an early life? There's no early life on him. I don't know though. The rest of everything that says about him really makes me feel like he's not just Danish. Oh, let's see here. Oh, he's dead already. He died 2 years ago. He died. This was him in 2007. He died in 2019 after marrying a woman from Mozambique. This guy's like the ultimate cuck. And then adopting her last name. I'm gonna look up his wife if there's a picture of her. Now, this took a weird turn. All right, so Herminia Mabunda. He married Herminia Mabunda. This guy got Kim.com fat. All right, here they are. So he married this chick after making Niggas in Space or Space Niggas or gay. What's it called? Gay Niggas from Outer Space in 1992. And then he married this chick and took her last name. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a Berg there. And there's no early life, but it says stuff that sounds very Bergy. So, for example, Lindbergh was involved with underground performance art. All right. Do I need to keep going? And entertainment for many years. His stage name, Master Fat Man, was first chosen during a performance of his March 1987 attempt to channel and incarnate Liberace's soul into his body. Lindbergh also used other stage names and alter egos, but Master Fat Man eventually emerged as the most popular one. Lindbergh has a very broad range of interests and engaged with magazine publishing and editing, theater, film, TV, radio, usually with the Berg, usually with a good deal of humor and subtle irony, but also out of genuine artistic interest and curiosity. Who wrote this? In early 90s. Let's see here. Here, this might lead. He started the political party. Oh, never mind. It just seems like a meme party. Cosmic Party. He was a self-styled guru. That's crazy this guy existed. I've never heard of this guy. He was in the Eurovision 1995. There's some other European shit I've never heard of. Yeah. All right. Well, that's weird. There's no early life, but I'm just guessing here. I'm just guessing. You know, there's the Berg and like the entertainment industry and the taking her last name shit. So very interesting. Very interesting. Let's take a look at chat again. He is wearing Jewish movie producer sunglasses. That he is. I mean, he definitely looks like a porn producer with his like shirt unbuttoned like that and the weird chops he's got. I have a gold membership with BitChute. Recommendations, wait or cancel. I sent them a message asking them why they don't support the First Amendment. Should I send their response? Yeah, well, like I said, wait and see, because look, this could be a situation. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for right now. I'm pretty sure there's that song, Take Me Down to the Paradise City where the grass is, that one. Pretty sure that there's a copywritten song in there. And so perhaps because they're the Nazi platform, they're under attack by the copyright cabal, and they have been forced to put in some kind of AI that looks for copy, which is easy to do. You know, like they've had that phone app, right? That it just needs to hear 4 seconds of a song, it can find it. So, I mean, server side, that's easy, right? They just have something that just analyzes everything. And if it's got 5 seconds of a copywritten song, they can say it's copywritten and it shuts it down. And then that way, if like a company, like the record company that owns the copyright to that song is saying, oh, we're going to sue these guys. It's lawfare, right? And so it could be a situation where, and I don't know, but it could be a situation where they are being forced to do this to avoid lawfare. And because they can't, YouTube can monetize because, Jews, let's just be honest, that, they can't, they're not allowed to keep the video on and then just transfer. They can't make a deal like that, like YouTube did. Why? Because the deal between YouTube and the record companies was amongst friends, if you know what I mean. It was within the tribe, if you know what I mean. And so it wasn't, it wasn't combative. They probably make money. They probably like it now, right? Because they're getting royalties. Imagine every fucking YouTube video that's got a stupid song in it. And if you're getting like, even if it's just a couple cents every time someone watches. In fact, it was kind of funny. I had videos that got demonetized and then they remonetized it because they had copywritten material so that they could pay someone else. Like they wouldn't pay me, right, for the video. But once they figured out they could pay someone else, then they remonetized it. So anyway, it could be a situation like that. So, don't go to war with them yet. Let's see what they say. When are you getting your helicopter's license? I don't know. I talked to someone about that today. That's a weird question to ask, considering I actually talked to someone about that today in a serious way. Talked to a pilot today about that. And he said that the only problem with getting your helicopter's license is that it's the most fun kind of flying you can possibly do, and it's as addictive as like a drug, and it's real expensive because most people can't afford their own helicopter, so you got to like rent your time anytime you go up in a helicopter, and so it just becomes like this money suck because you're just always having to pay for time in a helicopter, which isn't cheap. Because you got to pay for fuel and maintenance, and like the even if somehow you had like I don't even know what it costs, like $1 million, like I don't know, for a helicopter. It's probably more than $1 million actually. It probably depends on what helicopter. There may be cheaper ones, but then you got to have a place to put it. You got to keep it within FAA guidelines. So there's like all these stupid things you got to do. Look, I've been in helicopters, and it's also kind of complicated. Like, like they literally will put sandbags in. At least the helicopter I used to go up in, the pilot would move sandbags around in the back of the helicopter to like make sure there was like a good balance to everything. And I guess it depends on what kind of it is too. The helicopters I've been in are just the like the news chopper 4, stuff like that, right? I almost got to go in a Huey. But was not able to score it. Like, if I'd stayed at that job a little bit longer, I'd be able to get in a Huey. I almost stuck with it a little bit longer, but I had to go on anyway. Yeah, I would totally do it. It's money. I don't have money. I'm poor. And so, I'm not going to be sinking money into helicopter lessons. And just to get your license, it's like $80,000 or something. I mean, that's what it was last time I checked into it. I mean, again, there's probably cheaper options, but let's see here. Yeah, you could do ultralight. You could do a license and all that stuff, but I don't know, is that really safe? The only thing I've thought about doing, because it's and look, if an ultralight helicopter is cheap to build, and I doubt that, and if I had a hangar, that's the other thing too. I don't even know where I would put it, right? If I had a place to put it, and it was cheap to build, and if I didn't have a million other projects that I already have to take care of, I would really think about it. A cheaper alternative, though, and it's not as cool, like not even a little bit, but they have those, what are they called, parasails, and it's like a go-kart with a parachute on the back, and it's got like a fan, and so you can fly around in those things. They're cheap as hell. They're like I don't know, I've seen used ones for like a couple grand, and they look fun. I mean, it's dangerous, and you got to do it when there's like pretty calm air. Like you get like the wrong movement of air in that thing, and I've seen it happen. There's videos. In fact, let's find that. If you want to see what I'm talking about here, let's see if I can download this. Yeah, I think they're called parasails or paraglider or something like that. I'm gonna look up paraglider. But I've seen them. Their parachute just gives out like a. No, paraglider, I guess, is when you don't have. Paramotor. Oh, here's a crash compilation here. Let's download that. Let's see if it'll let me. I've been having a problem getting YouTubers lately. I think they updated something. Oh, good. It's going to let me get it. All right, this is going to take just a second to get. Oh, that was fast. I guess I got it already. Let's have a look. Oops. Oh, shit. The guy, like, jumped out into a fucking tree. I wonder why that... Oh, these guys... Oh, I guess they do have the fan. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's... I don't want the fan one, though. Those look a little more ghetto. I want the one that's got, like, the whole... Like, the car thing at the bottom. But something that works off the same principle. But yeah, they're not exactly... I mean, they're more dangerous. Like, way more dangerous. Hey, look at this guy. He's just, like, running. This should be... See, that just seems... I mean, I'm sure he's going to crash, but, like, that just seems cool. Look. For, like, a couple grand, you can be doing this. And as long as you... Oh, see? See? Weird air conditions, and you just drop like a fucking rock. Oh, and he does not look okay. He is not okay. Yeah, so that's the drawback with these things. And that's pretty funny. Yeah, but like all that has to happen is like the air changes a little bit, and then you just drop like a fucking rock. Like, oh, I think it's happened to this guy. Or I think this guy just steered around wrong. I want a video. There's got to be a video of these just dropping out of the sky. I've seen them before. What's up with this guy? What the hell is he driving? Oh, he got stuck to another one? That's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. These just look like, as dangerous as they are, I feel like if you as long as you're not doing it with weird wind, I'm look into to make sure it's going to be a little bit safer, you know, and you're going to be okay. Or maybe not. But what's life without a little bit of danger? You got to have a little bit of danger. And for $2 grand, I don't know. If you can build me an ultralight helicopter for $2 grand. But I suspect, oh, that's not good. All right, anyway. I've wanted to get one of these since I was a kid. Let's see here. I'd fly these around. Gotta understand thermals, aerodynamics, and basic level. Don't be a retard and try banking hard. Exactly. Like, a lot of these guys, you can tell when they're going to crash because of what they do. But, a lot of these, like, there are crashes I've seen where the guy's just going in a straight line. And then all of a sudden just rock because they... So... You're a political dissident and you want to go in the air. Dude, you're going to die if you do that. You're not going to even crash. You're going to explode midair. Well, if it's my time to go. What is your opinion on Bill Cooper? I think Bill Cooper stretched the truth a little bit when he first was doing his thing. I think it was more of a spectacle kind of a thing when he was talking about aliens and some of this other stuff. Like if you look at his earlier work, it's not as based. It's kind of alien-y and, you know, but I think that once he got involved in that arena And once he got involved in that, in the Patriot movement or whatever, I think that he shifted gears because he realized that there was actually real things to be worried about. And the more that he researched, the more interesting and realistic his material got. I think his book is really good. There's people that complain about him because, you know, he doesn't. In fact, he actively would push back against people who would mention Jewish power and Zionism and all that stuff. He also had some like really goofy ideas about, like some of his stuff about like the royal family. There's some stuff that it's a little out there, but you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, oh yeah, the other thing, his JFK stuff is ridiculous. When he gets into the esoteric, a lot of it's pretty ridiculous, but his book is pretty right on. His book is pretty right on, and it's worth a read, absolutely. And you can find it audio version. How he said it would, and I've talked about how he had to broad, and he got around it. I mean, he's a smart guy, really smart guy, and he got around it by broadcasting over satellite to volunteers who would build their own FM transmitters and retransmit his satellite signal to their local areas. I mean, that's insane. The amount of the fact that he was even, they had to start putting him in the ratings in some areas because the pirate radio stations were outperforming the commercial radio stations in those areas because of him. So, I mean, the guy was, he was a smart dude, but yeah, I mean, just like anybody, he had some blind spots and he got some things wrong. And like I said, I think in the beginning he was maybe stretching the truth a little bit, trying to get attention. I don't know. It's hard to know why people do the things that they do. But if you watch, like I said, his real early stuff, and you can find it where if he has, the more hair that he has, the earlier it is. But if you can find some stuff, like there's this one talk he does like in a church, like in the 80s somewhere, right? And the video is really shitty, but he talks about aliens and stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's kind of just like, whatever, dude. Let's see here. What do I think of Swiss people? I don't really have a strong opinion. I don't know a lot of Swiss people. Is Eric Prince and Blackwater Mercenaries a based organization, or are they controlled by... I don't know who controls them, but they're not based. No mercenary force is based. I'll tell you what. I mean, they promoted Trump hardcore, so either he got fooled like the rest of us, or not everyone, I guess, but like me and a lot of other people, or, you know, he's in that whole club. I suspect the latter, because I think he was also involved. There was not that long ago when the Trump administration was trying to start a civil war in Venezuela. Venezuela caught a bunch of mercenaries that I'm pretty sure came from Blackwater. So I think it's all part of that same clique. I think he's in that club. You know, he talked a big game about Wiener's laptop. That's yet another thing we'll never know the answer to. We'll never get to the bottom of, you know, just like everything else. Because, you know, that's not for you. That's not for you, Goy. All right, I'm gonna answer one more question. I'm gonna bail because I got some stuff I gotta finish doing, like kill some rabbits. Let's see here. The Democrats thought they could easily defeat him, so they want him as a candidate. You're talking about Trump? Yeah, I think they genuinely thought that he would. I think they were genuinely surprised at how he performed. David Irving shook hands with many people close to Hitler, and those. David Irving. Oh, that's that historian guy. Yeah, he's pretty good. That's not the way you can tell how truthful someone is how saying. And he said, how many emails have you and respond to? How many have I responded to? No, I've only responded to a couple. I got like 100. But yeah, that's going to be happening. That's going to happen on my days off. That's going to happen. I'll have gotten to everyone by even if, and look, I might, just because of the sheer number, it might just be something quick. Don't get annoyed if it's something quick, because I'll just know I'll have read it. I'll respond to everyone by after my days off, which is Tuesdays, right? Yeah, Tuesday's stream. We'll have everyone responded to. Ernst Zundel blackpilled David Irving. Yeah, Zundel is pretty based, or was based before they killed him. How'd my night hike go? It actually went pretty awesome. I found some more discarded cactuses. So I actually went. There were so many of them. I went back. I got my truck and went back into the desert with my truck, and because there's just no way. Plus, the kind of cactus it was, like the spines were. It was so much like it. It was extremely spiny, so there was no way I was going to be able to. I one of the reasons I carry my rucksack, and I literally do this. I'll fill it up with cactuses. I don't care. I've got one of my. I've talked about the large Molly rucksack. I'll sometimes, if I'm not doing a ruck march, I'm just doing a hike, I'll just carry the large Molly rucksack empty. And that way, if I come across, because it's shocking how frequently I do, if I come across discarded cactus junk that I want, I can throw it in. I've got a shitty one that's got like holes in it and stuff, and I don't really care about it, because those needles will poke right through that whatever that, I guess, nylon or whatever it is. And so I'll just load it full of cactus pads. But the kind of cactus this was so needly and awkward to, like, I could maybe put like one little piece. So I filled up the back of my truck with cactus that night. In fact, I didn't get to bed until like noon the next day, because what happened was I went out and did my hike, because I did the stream. The stream went until like, I don't know, like 3 a.m. or whenever, it's usually pretty late, right? And then I got back, or like, I went out and did my thing. I got back and the sun was already starting to come up, right? And then I drove my car or the truck back, loaded it up, came back in. And by the time I had everything planted, and because, like the cactus cuttings, time is of the essence, although you'd be surprised. Some of these are pretty hardy. I've had cactus pads I've thrown into my compost pile, and because they look kind of raggedy, and maybe I already got like 10 of those already, or whatever. And so I just throw it in the compost, because cactus pads make excellent compost also. And I've had some of them like actually come alive and start sprouting out of the fucking compost pile. So they're surprisingly hardy. There's most cactuses, at least. There's some that don't like do so well when you transplant them, but for the most part, because a lot of what I'm finding out there is just like landscapers cutting. I'm assuming it's people they have like a giant, and they chop a bunch of it off and then go throw it in the desert. And I might find it a couple days later. And then I go and look, there's no roots. Sometimes they have roots, but like most of the time there's no roots on it or anything. It's just like a branch, with pads on it, or maybe just a pad, you know, a singular pad or whatever. And I just take it home and root it, and it's a whole new cactus. I mean, I wish they would just bring the cactus. If you're going to throw away a cactus, just bring it to the bunker, you know. But of course, then I'd have to put up. I don't know. And plus, I was actually talking to my neighbor today that I'm starting to have more cactus than I have place to put them. Carl's property is going to have to start getting loaded up full of cactuses. The problem with that is because it's like animal food, right? So if I just put like a cactus pad in the ground at Carl's house, it'll just be eaten down by, you know, especially because I'm not there ever, you know. So you have to find cactuses that the animals don't eat, and there are a couple, but they eat pretty much anything with moisture in it. So you have to get they're not like the cooler cactuses, and they're not very useful cactuses, because that's the reason why I'm growing cactus out here, because I can eat them. You know, I can eat their fruit. I can eat their pads. So it's not just like decoration for me. This is part of my self-sustaining thing, and I can feed them to rabbits. So anything that I can use like that is something that animals will eat. So any cactus that I could plant somewhere else. Anyway, so someday maybe I'll do like a tour, a limited tour of my massive amounts of cacti, because I do have a crazy amount. Anyway, guys, with all that. Oh, you know what? I have a funny cactus story that's not just me rambling about cactus. So I got this for Classified Cat. I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. You know, it'll like match the house and it'll be neat. Let's see here. Why did the picture change when I did that? Whatever. This is good enough. All right, so I got this for Classified Cat, and anyone who owns a cat knows there's a lot of times you get your cat something, and especially anything that you spend a lot of time and money on to try to get your cat excited about something, they usually hate it. Like usually they like the box that whatever you got came in more than they like whatever it is you got. But I got him this, and he liked it. And I was like, oh, sweet. That's great. Cool. Kind of like fit. And you know, it's just kind of, it's nice to get something, you know, stupid like this every once in a while. And then I realized, well, now I really can't let him outside. Because now he thinks that that's a good place to rub his hands on. So anyway, but it's like a cool little thing, you know. It's it's something you could make if you had some PVC pipe. I was thinking it'd be like a fun thing to make. Just need PVC pipe, carpet rope, and some green dye. And you can make that for next to nothing. I mean, it cost next to nothing, I guess, so it wasn't like a big deal. But the construction of it, that's what they did, is it was just like cardboard version of PVC pipe. All right, guys, I was going to leave you just as a joke with that, that I would do anything for love song for you guys. I don't want to do that. As long as we're fucking up copyrights, right? Because this is going to guarantee, supposedly, that this is going to get taken off from BitChute. Let me see here. What can I do? What can I play that might not give me a copyright strike? I got nothing. Well, maybe this, and if whatever, we're moving to Odyssey. So if they hate this, whatever, it's okay. So bear with the ending a moment. It's going to be a little bit janky for a second. But also, someone asked me about secret messages. Like, oh, how come you're not doing them anymore? What makes you think that I'm not? Dun, dun, dun. I might not be, but I'm just saying, you never know. All right, for Blackpilled, I am, of course.
Prosecution of felon, gangster, mafiotic, negroidic, the Black Frank Gelada, a gangster judge, therefore unprosecutable. The blackish, menial, negroidic in appearance and demeanor, felon, vicious, parroting puppet, ex-district attorney Nassau County, can watch my Frankenstein eyesight television playback of this felonious, lowly, sodomistic display by the felon, sodomist Judge William Sullivan and his lowly felon slut wife during my trial in Nassau.